Good morning, everyone. Before the weekend, I asked you to think about people you admire. Today, we're going to discuss the kind of qualities that a good role model should have. Who would like to start the discussion? Sonia?
Yes, I'd like to talk about a man called John West. Hundreds of people's lives have been saved by John West. He's a firefighter. Of course, I admire him for his bravery, but I particularly admire him for his commitment to society. Once, John was called to a house on fire. A woman and her child were trapped in the building. He didn't think about his own safety. He just went into the house and saved the woman and child. He was badly injured and spent several weeks in hospital. I think people like John should be recognised for all the good work they do for others. So I was pleased to hear that he will be awarded a medal by the mayor. I hope I can contribute to society as John has done.
Thank you, Sonia. Does anybody want to comment?
I agree that firefighters like John West are amazing. But for me, my granddad is my role model. He isn't brave and he doesn't save lives, but he's my role model because he's made a difference to my life. Over the years, I've been entertained by his funny stories and jokes, but I've also been supported by him at times when I needed help. I was being bullied at school, and when I told my granddad about it, he helped me stand up to the bullies.
Thank you, Michael. Your granddad is a very special person and an excellent role model. Jenny, did you want to add something?
I think a good role model is someone who encourages you to be a better person. Mrs. Jeffries is retired now, but she was a teacher for 50 years. She was loved by everyone in the school, and generations of children have been taught to read and write by her. I was encouraged to write stories when I was in her class, and now I've decided I want to be a journalist when I leave school. The other quality I admire about Mrs. Jeffries is her self-belief. She doesn't care what others think of her, and at school she will always be remembered for her eccentric clothes and wonderful hats.
Thanks, Jenny. Self-belief is an important quality. That's it for today. An article on role models is going to be photocopied by the school secretary. Please read it by tomorrow.
Hello again. In today's lesson, we will look at some examples of the passive. You already know that you form the passive by combining the verb to be with the past participle of the verb you want to use. Passive verbs have the same tenses as active verbs. Hundreds of people's lives have been saved. She was loved by everyone. She will always be remembered. You use the passive when it isn't important or you don't know who performed the action. In a passive sentence, the object of an active verb becomes the subject of a passive verb. People were bullying me at school. I was being bullied at school. People will award him a medal. He will be awarded a medal. Sometimes you may need or want to mention the person or thing that performed the action. In a passive sentence, you do this by adding by plus the person or thing. I've also been supported by him. Generations of children have been taught to read and write by her. An article on role models is going to be photocopied by the school secretary. So, the important thing to remember is that the passive is just a different way of ordering the information in your sentence. Well, that's all for today. Thank you and see you again soon.